ביאור משנה ב', explanation for משנה ב'. משנתנו מוסיפה ללמד בעצים. So our Mishnah, since we started talking about these things, we're going to continue to learn in wood, types of wood, שאסור להשתמש בהם ביום טוב להסקה, that you're not allowed to use them in יום טוב for burning. For example, אין נוטלים עצים מן הסוכה. We're not talking about necessarily over here, I think, sukkah that is a mitzvah. We're talking about a hut, a gazebo. Now, and we're not talking about the building, the gazebo. A lot of times, sukkah is a gazebo. That's what a sukkah is. Sukkah is a hut. That's what it means. Sukkah means a hut. Yeah? But it doesn't mean the hut that we built for Sukkot. The hut that they built in the summer, outside. A pergola, yeah. That's a sukkah. And also another thing that you have to remember, that people were smart. They will use the wood as a wall, for example, for the shade or something. So they will take wood, if you have a gazebo, you have 4 corners, and then they would put the wood leaning on it. So it says, so you lean some wood on it. It's not attached. Now you want to use that wood for burning. Again, remember the fuel. They have a problem with fuel over there. Fuel is not available like for us. They need wood. So he says, am I allowed to take the wood that's leaning on the sukkah in order to burn? So he says, Ein notlim etzim min hasukkah, if the wood is on the sukkah, not on the sukkah with nails, leaning on the sukkah, אין כאן הכוונה דווקא בסוכה בחג הסוכות. We're not talking about a specific hut that we build in סוכות, אלא מן הסוכה סתם, העשויה בגינה או בכרם. We're talking about a gazebo, like modern gazebo. שאסור ליטול ממנה עצים ביום טוב, משום סתירת אוהל. Says, now, the reason why you're not allowed to take the wood, because it's a structure, even though it's not very strong, it's all going to blow out in the wind. Yeah, it's a structure. And by taking a wood, you're breaking the sukkah. You're breaking the hut. It's like the opposite of building. Since you're not allowed to build on a Yom Tov, you're not allowed to destroy on a Yom Tov, and this is what you're doing. Ella, but what are you not allowed to do? So the sukkah itself, so from this, maybe I was wrong by I said before. Let's read and see if I was wrong or not. Ella, mutar litol etzim min hasamuch la. But you are allowed to take from the woods that are next to it. Now, סמוך לה, what does it mean? כגון קנים הזקופים סמוך לדפנותיה, שאינם מגוף הסוכה ולא ביטלו לגבי הדופן. No. So I was correct. But if there's wood, so there's wood that makes the wall. But then there's other woods that you lean like is next to it. That's not next to the wall. It's not part of the wall. Or you lean it on the tree next to it. Or there's a tree next to it and you put it down. That wood that is not part of the sukkah, you are allowed to take. Next. מביאים עצים תלושים מן השדה ביום טוב לצורך הסוכה. So this is we already explained. We said you're allowed to cook on Yom Tov. But it says it has to end somewhere. If you're allowed to cook in Yom Tov, it has to end somewhere. Because with our logic, we can go far. What does it mean? If I'm allowed to cook on Yom Tov, therefore, I am allowed, for example, since I'm allowed to cook on Yom Tov, so I need a knife, right? That's I don't have a knife. So I can go make a knife, but I don't have metal. So I can go to the mine and start mining. And now, in order to mine the gas, I need a tractor. So I can go build a tractor. It never ends. So there needs to be an end. So it says, over here, we allow you to cook with wood. The question is, are we going to allow you to go chop wood? Yeah? Are you allowed to go out in the field now and start chopping wood? Because you need wood for fuel. Yeah, you need to cook. So it says, no, that you're not allowed to. But what you're allowed to do, מביאים עצים תלושים מן השדה. You can bring wood which fell down already, which is not connected to the ground. That you're not allowed to uproot a tree. Something that's not connected to the ground, that you allow bring from the field. ביום טוב, לצורך הסקה. In Yom Tov, for the necessity of cooking. מן המכונס, and also we're going to have rules over here. It's not as simple as we think. If you have piles of wood that you already prepared, this is מכונס. Not just go out. מן המכונס, מן העצים שכינס וצבע לפני יום טוב, במקום אחד שבתוך התחום. As long as it's 2,000 amma within the city limit, and you gathered over there wood, yeah, you're allowed to carry from that place, from the pile of wood that you chopped down, you're allowed to carry the wood back home. Now, have something else in mind when we're talking about over here. The place that you chopped wood, right, it's outside of the city limit, which means it's no man's land, right? That's what it means. It's no man's land. What does it mean? It doesn't belong to anybody. It doesn't belong to you. It's not your property. You went out in the forest, you chopped wood, you made a bundle. So the bundle is chopped up in the forest, you're allowed to take it back home. Because you showed that I want this wood for firewood. That's why you made a bundle. You made a bundle for you. You didn't make a bundle for somebody else, right? So over here, in other words, in the forest, it has to be a bundle. In the field, it has to be a bundle. Because if it wasn't a bundle, you didn't show that it's for you. What do I mean? In other words, your mind is not on it.
But you can pick up loose wood.
Oh, you're allowed to use loose... Oh, why you're not allowed to use loose wood? Because if you chopped... You're not allowed to.
Loose wood?
You're not allowed to loose wood. Only from a bundle you're allowed to. And why? Let's see the logic. What is logic? If you picked up, if you made a bundle, it shows that what? Wait. If you made a bundle, I'll read it and we'll see afterwards if I'm wrong. Okay?
No.
I might be wrong, but let's see. If you chopped wood, you made a bundle, what are you showing? You're showing that you had your mind on this wood. If you chopped one wood over there, one wood over there, one wood over there, and you didn't make a bundle, you know what it shows? It means that anybody can come now, right now, and pick up. In other words, in your mind, you're not sure that this is for cooking. You have a doubt, maybe if you come back, the thing is going to be there. But if you made a bundle, you took the time to make a bundle in the field, you're showing that you have it in mind, that you know it's going to be there. And you're telling other people, look, I made a bundle, please don't take from this bundle, go take from your wood, from other woods, make. The people will see. But if I just left the food, a piece over there, it means I didn't have this in mind. It's actually like I can take it, anybody else can take it. That's the idea. So it says this is minamir. So when you're allowed to carry wood from the field means far away place where everybody has an area, everybody is allowed to go there, then I have to take it from a bundle. In other words, I have the bundle in mind. The other pieces, I'm not sure they're going to be there, so I don't have them in mind. That's mina sadeh. What about mina karkaf? But mina karkaf, a karkaf is not a muktzeh. We said there's a difference between a muktzeh and a karkaf. A muktzeh is the storage house, storage place for your house. A karkaf is a bigger, let's call it, it's a bigger storage place. I don't exactly know how to say it. In other words, it's not next to, it's like a warehouse. Thank you. Karkaf in modern time may be a warehouse. A muktzeh in modern days would be your backyard. Yeah? Or in Zeu, that's where it's going to be. Yeah? So a karkaf.
It's like a junkyard out of town. It's got a big field.
Oh.
They all put their shmatas.
Very good. So the karkaf is going to be different rules now. Because the karkaf is guarded. In other words, you're showing by the karkaf that maybe I'm allowed to take even. So let's see. Umina karkaf. What's a karkaf? Hainu migrash gadol mechutz la'ir. It's a storage house that usually was a warehouse out of the city limit. It was in the industrial area. Hamukaf gader leshmirat etzim. That it was a guarded place. That if you put the wood, it's not like in the field. In the field, you chop the wood. Maybe it's there, maybe it's not there. You don't know. If you made a pile, you're making a statement. I want it. But if you didn't make a pile, you're not making a statement. In a karkaf, I can just throw the wood. It's mine. Don't come into this area. So in the karkaf, you're allowed to take. If you threw away wood in the karkaf, then you're allowed to take afilu mina mefuzar. Then you're allowed to take even from the other ones. You have your mind on it for cooking. Mutar litol misham etzim biyom tov, afilu mina mefuzarim. Even from the not bundled ones. שהעצים שבקרקף עומדים לשימוש, because That's why you put it there, so I can use it for cooking. ואף המפוזרים דינם כמוכסים ומוכנים. So the ones who are also spread out, it all belongs to me in my mind. I'm thinking about it for cooking. Beram, it's going to become a little bit more complicated here. What is a karkaf now? The Gemara is going to discuss. בגמרא אמרו שמשנתנו היא דעת יחיד. The Gemara says that our Mishnah is not what the sages says. It's what an individual said. And we know that when there's a Mishnah that one individual said, and not the sages, we go according to the plurality, according to the many sages and according to the individual. And this Mishnah wasn't said by the sages. It was said, like for example, Rabbi Yehuda or Rabbi Shimon, that he's not the majority. So it says, ve'eina halacha. So this is what the Gemara says. This is not the halacha. So what's the halacha? Ela halacha, but the halacha is she'en mevi'im etzim ela min hamuchanim shebakarkaf, min hamuchonasim shebakarkaf. The halacha is that even in your karkaf, if you didn't make a bundle, you're not allowed to bring wood from there. Why? It says, the ones that you made a bundle, sho'il vekinsam, the ones that you made into a bundle, gila da'ato shesomech alehem nitol meno asaka. You showed, I want this for cooking. The other ones, I don't know what you wanted for use. You just, maybe you wanted to, I don't know, for whatever reason it is. Aval min hasadeh, but from the field, according to the sages, nothing you're allowed to bring. Even if you gathered, you're not allowed to bring. Asur lavi biyom tov afilu min hamuchonasim. Even if you gathered it, you're not allowed to bring it. Why? Because just like you gathered it, I know you made a statement, I want them. But so what if you made a statement you want them? It's a field. It's a forest. Anybody who comes there is allowed to make them. So even you in your mind, you're not sure that it's going to be there when you want it. In other words, don't tell me you designated it for cooking. You can't designate it for cooking, really. Why? Because you're not 100% sure that when you go there, it's going to be there. So how can you designate? Designate means you make sure that it's yours. Here it's not called, that's not called designation. Designation maybe is in your area. You can have designation. In the forest, there's no designations. Anybody can come and take it. I designate. What do you mean designate? It's not your forest. You can't designate in the forest. Okay. שהואיל ואינם נשמרים שמה, seem that they don't get guarded over there, אינו סומך עליהם. They're not, he doesn't rely 100% they're going to be there. ומוקצים הם, אין מוקצים. So far so good. Now we're going to get even more complicated. So it's going to say, you should know that when we're talking about karkaf, we say we guard it, there's opinion how much guarding is. Guarding is a fence. What is guarding? Yeah, if you put a fence, that's it. What does it mean, guarding?
Make it karkaf there.
Yeah, what is karkaf? Exactly. Make 4 flags, is that karkaf? What is the definition of guarding? Eizu karkaf. So the question is, what is a karkaf? שמשנתנו מתירה להביא ממנו אפילו מן העצים המפוזרים. That our Mishnah, not the halacha. Our Mishnah is not the halacha, but nevertheless, the guy in our Mishnah permits to take from the karkaf the spread out wood. So he says like this, Kol shesamuch la'ir. He says, how do I know what a karkaf is? A karkaf is something that is within proximity to the city. In other words, he's telling you, not everything is a karkaf for cooking. Why not? Let's take an example. If you are within the city limit, but the karkaf, your karkaf is far away from the city. It's almost on the edge of the city limit. It's almost, but that says, don't tell me that you can go and take wood from that to your fireplace. Because no normal person is going to walk that amount for fireplace. When we say karkaf, that's the first rule. It has to be close to your house. Or it has to be close to the city limit. Otherwise, I don't believe you. Don't tell me karkaf is over there.
You're not going to do it in a regular way.
Yeah, exactly. You're not going to do it. So don't tell me, I have something that I'm allowed to do it. You're not. So that's the first our first definition of karkaf. It has to have, let's call this definition availability. It has to be available for a normal person to use. Don't tell me it's a קרקף. שאז דעתו על העצים, then I know for sure you thought about the wood, but if it's far away, don't tell me you thought about the wood, you didn't. Because no normal person thinks about woods that are that far away. שבו להשתמש בהם ביום טוב. יש מפרשים, so it says, what does it mean close to the city? שסמוך לעיר, היינו בתוך 70 אמה מן העיר. Means very close, within 35 meters to the city. That's what it means. והוא הנקרא עיבורה של עיר. This is called the pregnancy of the city. In other words, the city can become pregnant until here. That's it, that's a pregnancy, but not more than that. ויש מפרשים שכלשהו בין הגינות הסמוכות לעיר נקרא סמוך לעיר. So it says, every city had, remember, there's no place in the city to farm. So the farms of the citizens in the city, they were not big farms. You know, little tomatoes, the little cucumbers, right on top. Not let's say, not commercial use. It was city use. So the farms were within, very close to the city, because you didn't want to, the fields are far away. The farms, those farms are very, very close to the city, the personal farms that people would use. It said instead of having, it's an interesting thing, when you lived in the city at that time, you had a backyard, but the backyard was out of the city. So every house within the city had an allotment outside of the city gates, out of the city wall. It says, okay, this is your area for this house. It's like parking, in a building. The what? The Germans still do it that way. The Germans still do it, okay. Very good, so that's the idea. ויש מפרשים שכלשהו בין הגינות הסמוכות, so he says, as long as it is within where the gardens are, not a far away field, you're allowed to. This is Divrei Rabbi Yehuda. This is the words of Rabbi Yehuda, that's how he explains קרקף. בגמרא מבואר, the Gemara explains, שאפילו בקרקף הסמוך לעיר, Rabbi Yehuda says, I disagree with you. Even if it's close to the city, still I don't call it קרקף. Why? לא התיר רבי יהודה אלא כשהוא קרקף המשתמר. קרקף רבי יהודה means that it is guarded. Nobody else can go. See, all those farms out of the city limit, anybody can come in and out. People wouldn't do it. They wouldn't steal usually. Yeah, but they could. And that's not called משתמר. It's not called guarded. והיינו, so you know what a קרקף according to רבי יהודה? שיש לו דלת הסגורה על מנעול. קרקף means that you have an area that no one can go in besides you. In other words, there's a lock. There's a lock on the door, and you closed it, and no one can go in besides you. רבי יוסי אומר, כל שנכנסים לו בפותחת. Rabbi Yossi says, any area that the only way to enter it with a lock. כל קרקף שצריכים לפתחו במפתח כדי להיכנס לתוכו, ואפילו בתוך... Okay, let's see. So, let's see what's the debate of here. So we have one definition, the first definition of a karkaf. The first definition of a karkaf, anywhere within 2,000 amma from the city. That's the first definition. Rabbi Yehuda, and then we had another definition, that the Chachamim say, the sages says, no. It's not anywhere, it needs to be close to the city limit. Yeah? Rabbi Yehuda says, even close to the city limit is not enough. It needs to be locked. So you need close to the city limit and locked. Then you can do it. Then Rabbi Yossi says, no, I'm going to allow you to have it far away from the city limit. If it's locked, I will allow you. In other words, it looks like Rabbi Yehuda cares about availability and about guardianship. Rabbi Yossi cares only about guardianship. He doesn't care that it's available close. Yeah? That's the idea. Rabbi Yossi אומר, כל שנפתחים לו בתוכה, if it's guarded even though it's far away, Rabbi Yossi permits it, ואפילו בתוך תחום שבת, even if it's far away. כלומר, אפילו הוא רחוק מהעיר. אבל בתוך תחום, as long as it is within the city limits, היינו 2,000 אמה מחוץ לעיר, which is about around a mile outside of city limit. שאפשר להגיע אליו ביום טוב, a place that you can reach it on Yom Tov. בגמרא מבואר, the Gemara explains, שלדעת רבי יוסי צריך תנאי אחד בקרקף. So we learned the karkaf according to Rabbi Yossi, the way I explained it, the way the Mishnah implies that you need both. The Gemara says, no, that's not what Rabbi Yossi meant. You don't need both. The Rabbi Yossi meant you need either or. Don't learn Rabbi Yossi like it sounds over here, that you need both, the way I explained it, because that's why it applies the Mishnah. It says, no. That's not what Rabbi Yossi didn't mean what it seems like it means. It means what? שלדעת רבי יוסי צריך תנאי אחד בקרקף. You only need one of those conditions, not both. או שיהיה סמוך לעיר, you need it either that he's going to be close to the city, אפילו אינו סגור על מנעול, even if it's not with a lock. או שיהיה סגור על מנעול, אפילו רחוק מן העיר. Or that he's locked, but even if it's far away. So this says, you misunderstood Rabbi Yossi, either that or that. In other words, you have to show its importance. I don't care if you show importance of availability or you show importance of guardianship. Both, if you showed one importance, you can take from it.